Well, hello, hello from your astro friend Sahara. And sometimes I'm the dreamer. I have the wonderful dreams. I need some new equipment to. It's it's a process that I like other people to do because of the kind of dreams I got. Yeah, I wanted to go over that quick reading on Kavanaugh hearings and and I put the rocks and astro dice in the manner that they fell, and I wanted to show you a few things to explain why. Now, with this, now first I have to give you a little tour. This is the first house. We go by an astrological house wheel, and like this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Let me move. Eighth, ninth. This ninth house and uh, second house, or third house axis really fascinated me. This is one of the most important placements. This is the 10th house, and this is where we're having our major transits uh, are all in Capricorn. This means everything in our government is going to change. You want to study up on what the thesis and antithesis means, because that will be the keywords for the day. The one thing is, since in the Obama era, we had the term transparency. You're not hearing that word anymore. And this stone is this stone is one of illness. If you look at it, anytime I see it, the person is physically ill. Now, many rumors that go on about our president's health, mental health, but this is illness. This is often something that needs to be removed. It's a growth. It's a bad growth. All you have to do is look at it. When I get this on somebody's reading, I know they have something they've got to take care of. Now, this stone, it's in the 12th house. For y'all that know the house system, this will be very handy for you to learn. This is, and if y'all will please refresh me on what the name of this stone is. Very common. It's to ward off things you don't want in your aura or in your house. Some people will put this over their doorway. This is, I'm warding off something bad, or it is something bad. And the way it's pointing is it's pointing straight in to the center. So this stone is people that know a lot about stones will carry it for protection. And it also it absorbs bad vibes, basically. It's called black something. If somebody would please remind me of the name of it. This is illness. If you just look at it, you know it's something that needs to be cut out. It's a growth. And it's like we lost our dear John McCain. He had a growth. But this is the government. The 10th house is your government. It can be your business or your government, your head of state, your president. So here it is. And this is the way they fell. So I thought I would just take a moment to go over these things again. These two stones, one fell on the 3rd house. That is communications and education. This fell on the 9th house. And the 9th house is your foreign contacts. So these are very good stones. These are both rose quartz, and they bring clarity. That's why when I think about the way things are going in our government now, clarity is not the word used in this government. Let me move down here. Here is the one that I felt like in the last spread, you didn't get a good look at it. This is a pointing. Anytime you have something pointing, it's a dagger. It's a lot like feng shui. When you have something pointing directly at a particular area, and if you do feng shui, you don't have pointy things, not even pointy plants, like palm fronds. So here you have something pointy. What do we have here? The sixth house. And if you all know a little about the house system, this becomes a new way for you to really express yourself. And I love to do this spread, this wheel with tarot cards as well. Now, with this education for young people, this is education, communication, and also education. But this is afar, people afar. This is um, our allies, and they're going to help us. We're going to mend these. We're going to have better relationships. And remember that song, "Peace Among the Planets." Uh, the age of Aquarius. There'll be harmony among the stars. Well, everything fell in the third house. The issue of the day has been communications. And that's the whole deal. That's what messed up our government, our elections, and it's things ain't what they used to be. Now, what do we have here? This very crowded house. This brought clarity. These are the last stones that we thrown. First we had our planets. This is the sun. Sun is like a major arcana. That's like the sun is the center. It draws attention to it. You must pay attention to it. And this is Scorpio. Wait, gotta find Scorpio. Well, it is. Oh, here we go. This is Scorpio. And Scorpio is secrets, sex, lies, and videotapes. Now, this is the house of communications, the third house. This is the very bipolar Gemini house. It's one thing one day and another thing next. And if you know some Geminis, they're the most delightful people in the world. But some of them, they have 2, 3. I always think you get a twofer with a Gemini. They can be dual, to say the least. That's the sign. You get 2 for 1. And so if you ever are close to have a Gemini in your life, you can enjoy their quick wit and they're interesting, but they're not always, they're going to change your mind all the time and make you crazy. So this communications, that's one of the main things happening on the forefront, and our elections will depend on advertising and communications, and that's going to be the whole thing. Now, it looks like the Democrats and now the Social Democrats are a little more aware, and everybody's more aware of the what happened with our communications. I mean, the truth was just a thing of the past. And, we have a Gemini president. Say one thing, do another. That's what everybody's complaining about. And that's what they call this administration. They call him Captain Chaos. Chaos. So I wanted to now, the thing was with Kavanaugh, the whole thing. This is money. This is all about money. When I threw these stones, the second house got, this is number 2. I didn't go over this. This is the second house. The second house is money, also values and money, what you own. And the 8th house is other people's money. So there's little confusion here about what's yours and what's mine. We're trying to slice up the apple pie. And the apple pie is getting skinnier and skinnier because this is other people's money. Other people's monies are, of course, taxes, trust funds. I have picked up psychically about the Federal Reserve. There's, I mean, a lot of things are insured with the banks on the Federal Reserve, and the Republicans can't keep their hands out of things. They're into Social Security, which is shared monies, and and when it's the second house, you're saying what's yours is mine, and that causes big problems. And the sixth house here is women's health. And when the stone got knocked down here, the whole issue, of course, is money. And the sixth house is women's health. It's health in general. This is the sixth house of health and work. So what do you have? Big issues about work, pay, minimum wage, and health. The people that we've entrusted to watch these things, they're doing whatever they want. They want to go into space. And we're like, yoo-hoo, remember us down here? It's nice that you want to go to space, but people in Puerto Rico are dying, and you're locking up little children in cages for money. I call them BOPs, bodies for profit. We do that with prisons for profit, and corporations make money per head, thousand. What is it? $800 a night to have one of those little children in a cage. So, this is the problem here, and I wanted to explain that. What the question was, Kavanaugh, is he going to make it? Not is he a good guy or a bad guy, but is he going to make this nomination? Well, offhand, his employer's not well. Who's the person sponsoring him? The GOP and Trump. They're not well. They're not organized, as sick. This is someone trying to run a corporation or a big enterprise, or a lot of people, and they're sick. You ever had a boss like that? Nothing's working. This is House of Hidden Secrets. This is one of the hardest things to fret out the truth, and there's something dark here. No, I'm not coming into this with a preconceived opinion, because I've done something on Pence and it comes out very different than my own personal feelings of what's going on. A sick government and a sick leader, and so even if Kavanaugh makes it, he's being hired by, you have to think about getting hired by a company that's about to go out of business. It's like, congratulations, you got the job, but we're going out of business tomorrow. So this is sickness, and the American people, the women and the children and the Medicare is under attack when you have a point like this. It's being stabbed. However, it's a positive stone, so it will be fixed. These two things are the most positive. These courts, third house, education, communication. Ninth house, education, and more than this is college. We're going to get this education of our young people straight at last. And Obama said, if you don't want to pay for education, try ignorance. So I wanted to go over these things. Remember these houses. The first house, here we have the fourth house. Nothing was here. You think about the things that are clear. You've got this with the fifth house empty. Maybe all the problems with the football players taking the knee somehow be resolved. It's a sad situation, and but they, that's another whole thing. So we have the women's health, and Kavanaugh is all about women's health. Now, white supremacy is a big issue here, and I think that's this here. I think that's this darkness, this illness, and what is that? And when the second house got pushed into the center, it's money, but light is the rose quartz is love. There's a love stones, and you have the third and the ninth house lining up, education will set us free. And so will love. This is kind and we're not going to be sending the kids to um, camps like um, military school. They're going to have kindness and real education and positive vibes to coming to the children, and teachers will be paid. And the problem with basically educating our young people, hello, little more important than some of the issues that the GOP comes up with, like prisons for profit, is sickening. Many times you're going to see where a black kid gets 10 years for stealing a pair of shoes, and a rich white guy rapes a little girl, and he gets house arrest. It's sickening because a little black ghetto kid has a price on his head, and that's a sad thing. The prisons for profit get paid per night and per prisoner, so it's the kickbacks start in so the lives are ruined. It's that easy. So this will be resolved. The Kavanaugh, he has a chance, but he's getting hired by a sick organization, and it's like I said, congratulations, Mr. Kavanaugh, you got the job, but we're going out of business tomorrow, and because this is sick, somebody here is very ill. Mental, yes, because the third house is the mental, the way you think. Hello, we have a terrible, terrible mess here with mental health, but most of all, physical health. So I wanted to clarify this. Remember, the second house did end up in this, and that's money, ended up in the center. These things don't happen by accident. So I wanted to go over that spread, and please go back to the YouTube that was before this. I think it says GOP, keep your pants zipped up and your hands out of our pockets, because that's what it's boiling down to. So is Kavanaugh going to make it? He might, but it's not good. It's not good any way you cut it, anyway. Anything, it's not good for him, it's not good for the country. Like I said before, this is a critical a nomination that will start a domino effect on us all. But I want to show you the way this came out. We'll do a couple more like this on important questions and situations. Please feel free to make a comment below on things you would like to know about. I have a few questions I'd like to know too. So I bid you adieu. I would like for you to subscribe so I can buy some new equipment. It'd be fun. I have some really fun equipment that would make this process easier. And when I want to wrap this up by saying, God bless America.